British Prime Minister Theresa May will face the anger of Brexit supporters in her party on Monday when they try to force her to change course on her strategy for leaving the European Union. May is battling for her political survival after announcing a negotiating plan that infuriated factions on both sides of her Conservative Party. Eurosceptics say the plan leaves Britain too close to the EU, while pro-European lawmakers say it leaves the country too distant. The threat to her position from the Brexiteers should become clear later on Monday when they put forward a series of proposals to toughen up the government's customs legislation during a parliamentary debate. But May looked set to accept at least some of the least controversial amendments, if not all, as reported by the BBC. To try to avoid a government defeat in Parliament without watering down her exit plan. But if she chooses to fight and then sees a large number of her own party rebel, it would undermine her leadership and cast fresh doubt on whether she can deliver the Brexit plan agreed by her cabinet this month at her Chequers country residence. The Chequers Agreement, which is only a starting point for negotiations with the EU, has already led to the resignations of her Brexit Minister David Davis and Foreign Minister Boris Johnson, and the Eurosceptic faction say it has to change. Conservative lawmaker John Barron said he would vote with other Eurosceptics to change the so-called customs bill after having remained loyal to Theresa May, believing her to be honourable in her attempt to respect the referendum result of 2016 to leave the EU. Having examined the Chequers Agreement, I have come to the conclusion that it is not what people have voted for, he said. Some in the pro-EU faction have also rejected the plan. Former Minister Justine Greening called on Monday for a second referendum to end the stalemate in Parliament over the best future relationship with the bloc. May's spokesman said there would be no second referendum under any circumstances, and restated her position that the Chequers plan was the only way to deliver a Brexit that worked in the best interest of the country. Another pro-EU lawmaker, Dominic Grieve, who has led previous efforts to get the government to soften its Brexit stance, said the party needed to accept compromises or accept that Brexit cannot be implemented and think again about what we are doing. My Brexit or no Brexit on Sunday. May attempted to face down would-be Eurosceptic rebels by warning that if they sing for premiership then they risk squandering the victory of an EU exit that they have dreamed about for decades. A party meeting last week looked to have snuffed out talk of a confidence motion challenging May's leadership, which would require 48 Conservative members of Parliament to initiate, and 159 to win. But, fueled by criticism from US President Donald Trump and anger among grassroots party members, the mood has again started to turn against May. A ministerial aide became the 9th party member to resign their post in protest over the Chequers deal. Lawmaker Scott Mann quit on Monday, saying the plan would put him in conflict with his constituents by delivering a watered-down Brexit. The debate is expected to start at 1630 GMT, later than originally planned, with the first votes due around 2000 GMT. The amendments to the taxation, cross-border trade, bill have been proposed by arch-Eurosceptic Jacob Rees-Mogg. He said he did not expect the bill, or another bill on trade due to be debated on Tuesday, to be blocked outright by the 650-member parliament. I'm sure Theresa May does not want to split the Conservative Party, and therefore she will find that the inevitable consequence of the parliamentary arithmetic is that she will need to change it, the Brexit policy, to keep the party united, Rees-Mogg said. We'll have an idea of the numbers, I suppose, at 10 o'clock on Monday evening.